trying to capture that magic.
Hey, Poopy, how you doing? Hey, Poopy, how you doing?
I'm just, trying to find a place with like-minded people to talk about like-minded things about me, about poop and stuff.
Hey, Poopy, how you doing? Hey, Poopy, how you doing?
Oh man, what's this right here? Is this a podcast about poop?
And now, shooting the shit with Dave and Ellen.
Hey everybody, we are back on Dump Day.
And we are recording live.
We are. We're actually recording this episode.
The button is red.
This is Shooting the Shit with
Dave
and Ellen, and this is episode 41, but it'll always be number 2 to us. And we have a very special,
an amazing guest.
Yes, a guest that we've both photographed that we love, Fancy Feast.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yay!
Yes, super excited about this one.
Yes.
She is awesome and really funny. And I was just thinking, actually, before we get into everything, we had one of my 2 biggest laughs. We were going to Beehoff one year, and you were sitting behind me on a plane, and I couldn't figure out how to work the headrest thing, like you can talk to each other. And it was like someone's grandfather. I'm like, how does this thing work? What is this thing? And she was sitting right behind me and just dying. And then the other time, we were in Vegas, in the hotel room, watching this video that my wife made, and it was just the critiques like she kept coming up with. It was just like I had a headache from laughing so hard. It was really great, and I'm just very happy you're here.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. Now, if I can set the scene for the listeners, the 2 hosts of this podcast right now appear to be in some dismay, which is how I like to start off an interview.
I'm in total dismay.
I'm just laughing. Yeah. I want to quickly do a little shout out to your best friend Tiger Bay, who I was on the phone with yesterday, and I told her how we were gonna have you on the podcast, and she was very excited. So Tiger, if you're listening, hello.
Aren't you so lucky that you get to hear me talk more about poop, Tiger? I mean, we travel on tour together, and so basically that's one of the main topics of conversation because it's one of the few things that happens on tour. So we've been talking poop for several weeks. So I guess this is like, I don't know. Yeah, seconds, thirds, even more.
Yeah, I'm loving it. Well, thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, Tiger never wants to come on, but I'm always telling her that if she wants to even just send in a story via email, come on, Tiger. You can send us. You don't have to be on if you're too shy.
We'll give you an AKA. We'll give you a different name. Biker
alias. Yeah, Biker
Yeah, so anyway.
So before we go into who Fancy Feast is, let's go into our check-in. So Fancy, tell us, how have your poops been recently?
Okay, so when we thought we were recording, I had a really funny joke, and then we weren't recording. But I think I'm going to retell the joke.
That's good.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Because the listeners haven't heard it, but I will genuinely laugh at it again.
Well, I don't fucking remember what I said, but it's something like, okay, so I'm Jewish, so that like shits are always just very complicated and confusing, and there's no correlation between what you put in and what you get out. So it's this like mystery box
every time.
Yeah, it's like the Hellraiser puzzle.
It's like
thing.
rolling the dice. You're like, okay, let's see what happens.
It could be any kinds of foods at any time of day, in any quantity, in any combination.
Well, I have heard this. I am not Jewish, but I have heard from other Jewish people that poop is a big topic in the Jewish community, at least from the other Jewish people I've talked to. So we'd love more Jewish people on this show as long as they have poop stories to share.
It's one of the things that really sustains us, like as a nation. I mean, like one of my favorite memories of being with my family is my dad. So he ordered one of those like 5-pound bags of sugar-free gummy bears that are made with that like totally non-soluble sweetener, whatever that is. And he had just like the most like horrific, explosive, like painful diarrhea fart combo. But then as a family, we sat down together like around the big computer, and he read all of the Amazon reviews of everybody else's explosive diarrhea. We read that aloud.
I've heard about this. Yes.
On the Sabbath.
Oh my God.
Oh, that is the best. Did it sound something like this?
It's vaguely familiar. My dad is a screamer. You know what's happening.
Well,
Emotional shits.
we should get your dad. Let's record your dad a little soundbite on that.
Yeah.
He's
Please
like-
tell. Next time you're at home, please have a microphone outside the bathroom door.
Oh, he'd love that.
Oh my god.
So on the Bristol stool chart, how have you been recently?
Yeah, this is like staring at me in the periphery. And
I could take it away after you're done.
I think there's a very angry looking toilet on it. It reminds me of what was that movie? Was it Look Who's Talking To? Where they're potty training.
Oh,
the
yeah,
son,
yeah.
And there's like an angry, hungry toilet with like a weird mustache and vampire teeth.
Oh.
And he's like, oh, you got to feed me to pee-pee.
I have not seen that movie since it was like came out
I
a million
definitely
years
remember
ago,
seeing
but
that
I don't
scene.
remember that. Oh my
Yeah.
god, I got to look that up.
That's probably the only good part about that whole entire movie.
I've spoken to people who have specific trauma, like capital T trauma from that toilet. So, anyway, okay, so on the poop chart, the way that so like the platonic ideal is type 4, and that's like the best day, and that's like when I'm hanging out at home. That's when my mom cooks. But typically I'm like a type 5 or type 6.
A little more looser in the caboose.
We're a little loose, and it's constant. It's constant.
Oh,
I mean, I'm okay right now, but like,
You're like just shitting 24/7. Shitting right now, actually.
well, it's about time it happened on this podcast live and
You're like
right
"Whoa."
here.
can you imagine? No, no. It's like after every meal, which makes dates really complicated. If I like go out for a nice dinner with a boo, and then I'm gonna pay for it.
Like give us a time zone. Half an hour.
Half an hour.
Wow.
Yeah. Which apparently my doctor says is like very good.
Yes, that is.
Yeah.
I'm wowing because I'm jealous.
Please don't be jealous. I like wear like really like nice like silk underwear, and then I'm like, ugh. You know, I
You're like ruined.
bring my wet wipe. I mean, I take
I know.
care
Sorry.
of things.
I didn't mean it that way. I meant like the mood. Like,
Okay,
in a sense,
yeah.
not the underwear.
Mood destroyed,
Sorry.
underwear intact.
I should have been more specific.
But I feel like if you're shitting more, you're like less gassy because it's just pushing out of you.
Would you?
At least for
Word.
me. When I shit less, I'm like, yeah.
I'm happy to hear that for you.
I mean, when I shit more, I feel like I gas less. Like if I'm constipated, I'm more gassy.
I just think I'm very talkative at the other end. Both
Oh.
ends, you know?
Oh.
Oh my god! I'm just laughing at the last. Good, but anyway, I'm a mess. I want to apologize to the listeners right here. I'm kind of like all over the map today. So
That's okay. We've had a very long day.
yeah.
As
I'm a
much as
little
all the listeners,
loopy.
yeah. As much as the listeners know, this is a new week and a new dump day. We actually did 2 episodes in one day, and we had a period of time in between where Dave and I basically only talked about the podcast. So his brain is all fried from.
It's cool, man.
We always say we could do 2 episodes in a day, and then by the end of it, we're like, and time to go to bed. Talking about poop for many hours is exhausting.
You know, yeah. It's not all fun and games, kids.
Yeah.
That's right.
But Dave, tell us, how have your poops been?
Might have been like good 3s, 4s. I would say more like 3.5.
Yeah, you're like more binded these
Yeah,
days.
I'm kind of like it's good.
I
feel
think
like
that's great.
I feel like I'm not in the 5, 6, 7. I used to dwell in that area
Yeah.
a lot.
You're a lot liquidier.
Yeah.
You just sounded like a band leader.
5, 6, 7. Okay, guys, let's cook it. Oh my god. Yeah, so that's where I've been. That's what I'm about right now. 2s or 3s and 4s.
That's good.
Yeah. I'm happy.
I have been drinking this Farmhouse Culture gut shots, which is like pickle juice recently, and been making these explosive shits.
I'm sorry. Pickle juice, was it?
Yeah.
I
think it's basically like sauerkraut in
my
a
God.
liquid form that you're supposed to just drink like a shot of it. Like if you drink this whole bottle, you probably like shit 12 times in a day, but
yeah, I'm gonna pass on that one.
it's delicious.
Pickle juice?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's delicious.
All right.
I'll bring some over for you next time.
Okay. I might shit my pants on this show.
Yes.
Well, it's like doing a pickleback shot or
Yeah.
I've never done that before. I've only eaten pickles, not the juice part, but
It's delicious.
Okay.
But this morning I had like a type 5-6. Like it literally was like salad shooting out of me. And I was like, woo, that's no bueno.
That's not,
Yeah.
explosive.
I've never heard anything described as like salad while also being so disgusting.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah. And I ate turkey chili for lunch, and I've been farting like crazy. And
yeah, she's been letting out some.
I ate the turkey chili in front of Dave today, and I was actually also really farty last night, and it was making me laugh. I had talked during this whole Lyme disease stuff with all the antibiotics I on. I lost my farts. Oh, I got those babies back.
Oh, you did today.
Back.
I was just like, it was like
he was
huge.
sitting out on that side of the table, and I was here, and I farted so loud, and I was like, Dave, it literally smells like my turkey chili, and he just like took his shirt above his nose.
I'm like, oh, I got that. Yeah, that's quite apparent.
And I was like, whoops, sorry.
Oh, it's so funny.
But I knew if any meal to bring to a poop podcast, chili is the way to go.
Yeah, if you ever have like your live show at Union Hall or whatever,
we
serve a big pot
trust
of chili.
me, we have all kinds of plans.
Pickle shots and chili shots.
For our double deuce 20-second episode, we served chili.
Oh, really?
I made homemade chili, and then Lauren made us these beautiful cupcakes.
She made little poop emoji cupcakes.
Yeah.
Gluten free. And she also made a Bristol stool chart cake.
Which was
Had
awesome.
Had all the crumbles for the...
Well, okay, so for the reboot of Oklahoma that's on Broadway,
Oh, I heard it's really, really good.
it's apparently amazing.
Yeah.
And one of the things that they do to really like immerse people in the story is that they serve chili, because there's a chili cook-off.
No way!
As part of the
Oh my God, I thought you were going to say they shit on them. Yeah, they shit on people?
Deeply immersive.
What now?
No, but can you imagine feeding a whole Broadway audience some chili and then doing a Broadway show?
No. That sounds smelly.
Ooh.
In those antique seats too that just like absorb. Oh, those
Aren't
are
they
so
adorable?
cute.
I'm showing Fancy from our Instagram the poop emoji cupcakes.
Oh, that's great.
And Bristol stool chart cake.
Oh wow, there I am.
Check the Instagram. It was posted on June 19th. It was a fun episode. Listen to it.
Yeah, good stuff.
Can I also do my social media shout out?
Oh, yeah. Do it.
Okay, so recently I started following a Twitter account called Toilets with Vaguely Threatening Auras.
Oh my God, yes. Right.
And I need you to check it out. It's the most it's the funniest and most liminal thing I've ever seen.
Okay.
I got
mean,
it.
it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Is it only on Twitter? Is it on Instagram too? Or
I don't know. We could check for it, but I've only seen it on Twitter.
Okay.
Just really upsetting places to have to do stuff, but not in like a dirty way. Just like in there shouldn't be a toilet.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Or like the
Kinda
lighting
creepy,
is
yeah.
really upsetting. Something's wrong.
I follow one on Tumblr called Toilets from Hell. That is like exactly what you think it is.
Oh, I need to follow that one because we just finished our October Horror Toilet Month, which if you follow us on our Instagram, Hey Poopy Podcast, blah, 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 blah. Hey Poopy Podcast, we were posting all October long of the grossest toilets we could find on the internet. And to everybody who commented, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad I scared the shit out of you.
Yeah, you did. Oof. Fancy.
So, yeah, Fancy, tell us about yourself. Who are you? What do you do?
Okay, so I am a burlesque performer, producer, and MC. I am Miss Coney Island 2016, among other things. What's up? I am the producer or co-producer of the Fuck You Review. I co-produce that with Zoe Ziegfeld. And it's currently on hiatus, but we got big plans for the show. I'm also a writer. I have essays placed in BuzzFeed's and Jewish Currents talking about sex and bodies in our culture. I'm working on a book right now. And then I also work in the mental health field.
She does it all.
Yes.
And now she's going to tell us about her poop.
The thing that no one asked for.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you
Except
too.
for us.
Except for us. We asked for that.
The thing that two people asked for.
Yeah. You got to give it to the people.
Yes.
As in us.
And Dave and I have also photographed Fancy. We love working with her. And you are by far one of my favorite MCs ever. And I know I've said this before, but I'll say it again.
Thank you.
Well, you
so
said it
much.
before I hit record, and I think so. Yes, she's going to be definitely saying it again.
If it's not online, it doesn't count.
Yes,
We know.
exactly. It's like a tree in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And I can hear fancy talk all the time, like that one podcast Sapphire Jones does about Boss Ass Bitch, which I absolutely love. I told Sapphire that your episode was one of my favorites.
I love Sapphire, and that was such a fun podcast.
It was
to do.
great. Yeah. Great interviews. So, yes, thank you for being on.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for pooing.
No problem.
She's like, got it. That'd be weird if I didn't, right?
Yes, it would be.
Yeah, actually, I want to get that person on. I'm like, I don't shit. I'm like, what?
I think I know somebody. Who do I know? I know somebody who shits maybe like once a week.
No, it's so
yeah,
wrong.
I've met people like that too. That just scares me.
Yeah, we had Cal Friday on who admitted to doing like once every 3 days. And I was like, how is your stomach that flat? Like, it's impossible.
Yeah.
Where do you store it?
How are you not rotting inside? I feel like it's just like...
Oh, if I haven't shit once a day, I'm like so upset. Taking
I get
all
nervous.
the things.
I'm like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah. Taking everything to make sure it comes out me the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Fancy, we actually just learned a new thing from the last episode we did. We found out that there are people who wipe. Do you wipe sitting down or standing up?
What?
Exactly.
That's the exact reaction you should have. That's what I said.
Yeah, I really like to stand up and make it clap a few times before I wipe.
You know, your pants around your ankles, is sitting there wiping your ass, standing up. That's great.
Yeah, we just learned that there's an actual topic about this. And I was like, who stands up? You just whoopee pie yourself. Like, really?
Our last guest said that he was talking to a guy at a bar, and this dude said,
good
like,
friend of his.
Yeah, that was like, I wipe my ass standing up. You sit down? That's weird.
He stood up, turned around to look at his do, and wiped his butt.
No.
Yeah.
I was like, unless you're 3 years old, nope.
That person's a serial killer. Something is definitely off with that person.
There's something really Freudian about that. Like thinking about getting stuck in sort of the anal stage of development.
100%.
I mean, I'm projecting that onto y'all too, because you have a podcast about
Oh,
it.
yeah, I mean,
I've said that for years, that I'm totally stuck in the anal stage. Yeah.
I just thought it'd be fun to have a show talking about funny shit in your pants stories. But yeah, it's amazing. This person was like, "You sit down?" I'm like, "What?"
Is it because this person like has a penis and is used to standing up to pee, and so there's like something about?
Well, the guest we had on thought that his friend was insane. Mm-hmm. So we're not exactly sure what the logic behind, but it's now our new favorite question.
And I kind of want to interview this person because I just need to know, like, what's up with that?
You know, what the fuck is up? No, my mom, when I was little and getting toilet trained, my mom like did that in front of me and like talked me through it and showed me all the steps. So I like, yeah, and I guess I poop the way my mom does.
Yeah, and you learn like front to back.
He's like, this is a standing house. We don't sit down in this house.
Yeah, be a man.
Yeah.
Be a man and whoopee pie yourself.
Yeah, right? And look back at it.
Oh my God. And tell that poopy who's boss.
Yeah.
Whew. Terrible.
Yeah, we got to find that person and interview them because I need to know. I have so many questions about that.
Or I want more people to write in about standing up to wipe. Like, why? The whole point to sitting is it spreads your butt cheeks apart so you can get in there better.
Well, it's like you think you know what people are and what people do, and then you learn something new and you're like, I know nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now, what if you're like involved with this person in a relationship?
No.
I mean, would you be like, I think we would have to like break this off because I don't know if I could be with someone.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine if you like walked in on your wife wiping while standing up and you'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And I'd be like, did something happen? Was there a monster in there that has forced you up? Like,
I mean, I've talked about this in the past that I've
alien?
learned. My boyfriend won't let me even talk through the door to him while he's shitting, and he has 15-minute long shits, so it's really annoying because, and he wonders why he has hemorrhoids. But there's all these weird things that kept happening where the toilet paper would be scrunched or off the roll, and we don't have like a real roll; it's like a hook, and I'd be like, "What the fuck happened to the toilet paper?" And I realized it's because he leans. He leans to the left to wipe.
We got ourselves a leaner.
So the leaning I get, like you sometimes have to lean to get in there a little bit better. But he'd lean, hit the wall, scrunch the toilet paper. He broke the toilet seat once because of all his leaning.
Too much torque.
Yeah,
He's a wild man.
Yeah. He doesn't play around. He's in there.
Yeah. He gets that tushy water stuck up in there.
He comes back. He's got like no shirt on. He's just like, oh, woo. He's like training for like a fight. Oh my god.
So yeah, but I've never heard of a stander. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm really interested. So if anybody out there stands and wipes their ass, please get to us. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, please. You were also telling us when we thought we were recording that you have abbreviations to texting your poop friends.
That's right. So my best friend from college and I will communicate about our poops using the following codes. So Dubs is 2 poops in a day, Trips is 3, Quad is 4, and a Quint is a rare beast indeed.
Woo, Quint that's a lot.
I don't like to meet the Quint.
You're like,
I haven't had a Quint in a very long time. If I go more than once a day, I'm like high-fiving myself.
yeah, that's Quint. That's like a goal.
That's like if I have like takeout Thai food and I have a deadline. And I'm gonna,
It's going down.
yeah, it's gonna be a Quint for real.
Oh my god.
One time, Dave and I got takeout Thai food while we were recording the podcast, and I think you had explosive diarrhea like right afterwards. It doesn't happen with me, but yeah.
It just makes me think of that, like, do you know the honey badger
Yes.
video? So it's like eating the snake and it like has to pass out for a while because it's like poison from the snake. But when it wakes up, there's only snake left, so it just keeps eating it. That's kind of like how I feel about food that gives me diarrhea. Like, it's good and I eat it and then I get really sick and then it's the only thing in my house and so I eat it.
You're like, it's okay, I'll go back for more.
Yeah, it's good. Pad Thai's pad Thai, you know?
Yeah, that's one of the guests we had on, Kyle Bonbon. He's like that, where his girlfriend will complain that he does not like wasting food. And so if there's food in the refrigerator from like over a week ago, he's like, it's okay, right? And every time he does that, his stomach is so fucked up. And this is the guy who on the podcast admitted he shit in a pizza box in a car because there was no place else for him to go.
That's the way he feels right after he eats that week-long food.
No. I was trained in food safety a week and then it's out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Fancy, do you have a story for us, or do you want us to go in our normal questions?
I have a story. It's not about my bowels, but it's about
we're okay.
somebody's bowels
That's
who I
okay.
care about.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
please.
And stop me because like I think about this maybe like once a week. So like if it
I love
gets
this.
too involved, please stop.
Oh,
me.
no.
Okay.
I'm
we had
loving all of
we had a
this.
dominatrix on here that
I know you did.
so this is once it's that, this is gonna be perfect.
There's no way I can top that. So I was taking an environmental justice class in the south of Israel, and we had a free weekend. I was 19 I was 19. And we had a free weekend, so we decided to go to Jordan, me and 3 of my friends, and stay in a hostel and visit Petra and like go to the sort of ancient antiquities, the sites. And I was with my very dear friend, Rachel. And Rachel and I were like best buddies. We like bonded over Cameron, you know, big fan of hers. So we spent all day in Petra in this like ancient city on a day where it was maybe like 113, 115 degrees in the desert. And we each had 2 liters of water when we really should have been drinking around 8. So I didn't know that one of the side effects of dehydration is diarrhea. I find that completely
Counterintuitive.
Yes, agreed.
Why would our body jettison the remaining water? We should be like reabsorbing it. It's like everything out. So anyway, so we were walking like up to the high place of sacrifice, and like the sun was setting and it was very beautiful, and we had befriended some like our Bedouin guide, and he was like, oh, let me show you the town where we actually live. This is just like where we work. And so we started walking down the mountain, and it's 600 steps that are carved in this like ancient rock.
Wow.
So it's amazing. It's such a feat, and it's so beautiful, but it's also not like the best engineering anymore because it's been worn away, like it's, you know, old rock. So we're gripping onto the side of the mountain as we're walking down the stairs. This is after a full day of being exhausted, dehydrated, like our legs are just rubber. And I noticed that Rachel is tailing, like she's just starting to like recede into the distance as we're heading down the mountain. And I look up at her, and she has that clammy gray sort of like Law and Order corpse look that you get when you're about to get sick. And I was like, hey, what is it? And she's like, oh, it's gonna happen. And I was like, okay, what do you want me to do? And she was like, just go just walk, don't look behind you. And it felt so biblical. I felt like Lot's wife, you know what I mean? Like turning into a pillar of salt. I'm like in the, the Fertile Crescent. So as I'm walking down the rock, I hear the sound of this like horrible explosive diarrhea echoing in this ancient sacred valley at dusk. And I was laughing so hard. I was like, this is how I'm going to die, because I'm going to slip off the rocks and fall and break my neck.
Or the people walking behind Rachel sure are.
Well, at this point, like the site was closed, so it was mostly empty.
Oh, sweet.
So I was just like waiting, like clinging to the rock, waiting for her to come down. Rachel, by the way, was wearing like one of those sort of American Apparel circle skirts.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, so it didn't get too far all over the place.
Well, okay, so she comes down and I'm like, how was it? And she won't speak to me for a while. And she's like, please, let's just walk. I don't want to talk about it. And as we start walking, she's like, so there's no toilet paper in the desert. I was like, right. So she had to take off her underwear and like use it as toilet paper. And so she's just like freeballing it in this skirt. And she's like, it wasn't so bad that you heard what I did, but I didn't appreciate the men on horseback who were laughing at me. Apparently they'd recorded her on their phone.
Oh my God!
Fuck. That's evil.
Mm-hmm. So that night we were like going to a Bedouin party in the desert, and Rachel stayed home because she just was not feeling it.
Oh yeah.
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 But she and I really traded off, because that same trip, on a different occasion, we were spending the night out in the desert in the Negev, and we had to pair up with headlamps at night because it was just super dark. So if somebody wanted to go to the bathroom, you'd have to take your buddy, and they would have to train their headlight on your asshole, because there were scorpions that were all over the ground at night, and they could potentially like bite your genitals or your asshole. So
oh my God,
she had to like laser point stare at my pussy and butthole again in this beautiful biblical setting while I shit so she could look for scorpions. So we kind of like, I'd like to think that we traded,
right,
favors to one another. And we've been friends ever since.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, that's...
Wait, you guys met during this trip?
We did.
Wow, well, that's a bonding experience.
Yeah, super bonding.
I mean, I can never do anything wrong towards her ever, because she could just like create a watercolor drawing of my pussy and butthole shitting in the
every
desert.
Every fold, every like...
That's right.
Yeah.
With Scorpios in the background.
Yeah.
Like, I certainly haven't looked at it as long as Rachel had to look at it.
Wow.
So when
yeah, because she emptied out hers earlier.
Yeah, I only heard hers, but she saw mine.
Oh.
So when you're at this Bedouin party, did some guy come to you? Hey, you want to see some crazy video I saw earlier? You're like, no.
He came riding on horseback. Hey, you
You're not
guys!
gonna believe what we saw today. Holy
You gotta
shit!
see this internet sensation.
Oh my
Thank God it was like long enough ago that the internet was different.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that would have been on TikTok in like 2 seconds.
That would have been everywhere.
Yeah, World Star.
Yeah.
World Star, like clips. Like, what's that thing called? Like, oh my God, it's just nuts. Wow, that's awesome. I mean, thanks for bringing that story to us.
No, thank you.
I feel bad for your friend Rachel.
Me too.
But, it was at least it was in a really beautiful, biblical.
It was absolutely stunning.
If that was like in a Newark airport, probably,
Oh, it'd be just as funny. But
I mean, it would just be a different kind of set. Sometimes, the setting really just changed the mood.
Yeah, looking at like a temple that belongs to like a religion that's not yours while you're like having horrible diarrhea. I can't imagine what that experience is like. It's not, I hope it's cultural humility.
yeah.
Oh,
That's my hope.
And then the whole like, don't look back. It's like there's.
I don't think I've had a biblical shit like that. I'm kind of jealous.
I feel like I've come close, but never had like something to that effect. But that's Sorry, just watching you just imagine you clutching to the edge of that wall being like, just don't look back. Just that's all she said. One request, don't look back.
I really thought that was going to be it, and I was going to get one of those like silly obituaries. That's my only goal in life is to avoid one of those like, silly obituaries.
Mm-hmm.
If I can do that, I'm good.
She slipped on a banana peel,
Right.
and then she died.
She was laughing
What?
at her friend's shitting.
Yeah,
Darwinism.
laughing at her friend's
The
shit.
Darwin
fell off
Awards.
some steps, and then what? Oh no,
That's too funny.
that's a really funny story though. Oh god, like even I don't like bugs, so that the whole scorpion thing that's freaking me out. Like just the thought of that's a silly, like he was bit by a scorpion in his ball sack and then
And died.
It died. I'm like what?
And some Naked and Afraid shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed. I need to know more about their shitting though. They rarely put that on the episodes. Like once in a while, somebody gets really sick and has diarrhea, and the other one's like, you can't do that close to the campsite, or yeah, please. But yeah, I want to know more about like, and there was like one episode where the person was like, and I've gone now 2 weeks and I haven't pooped yet. Like,
Yeah,
But-
that sucks.
yeah.
I can't imagine the quality of those poops if you're just like baking in the sun and then like your big meal is like a rat.
Yeah.
It whatever it is, like it
Oh.
can't be good.
Yeah.
No.
And then they have
That's like-
centipedes and snakes and everything. So if you get up in the middle of the night and you have to shit in the woods butt naked, you don't have
would
even
never-
flashlights to check if something's going to sting you or bite you.
Wait, I still have to watch this show.
It's the
I know,
best.
you
It's
give
so
me that
good.
one episode I got to watch, but is there? Do you win money? Like
No.
No.
They are survivalists who just do it to
Oh, that's
test out their
no,
skills.
No, I'm sorry.
I love watching the show while I'm like sitting on the couch with my chenille throw and a bowl of fresh berries. So I can just laugh at the people who've chosen to make this horrible life decision.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I'd love to get parasites for no money.
Yeah.
No problem.
That sounds awful.
Or stung by 1,000,000 mosquitoes within 24 hours.
No.
Their skin is like just ravaged.
Yeah, I'm good.
It's so good though. I can't.
show.
It's the one show that Gerald and I love watching together. And within the first 5 minutes, I'm like, nope, I would never do this. What the fuck is wrong with these people? But I can't stop watching.
I'm trying to picture my wife. Like, there's no fucking way she would sit through like 30 seconds of that.
It's so good.
She would be like, oh my God, I'm done. Nope. Sorry. Where's the producer at?
I mean, it's a great watch if you're a sadist.
Uh-huh.
And I enjoy the misery of others in that way.
Yeah.
But like the idea, I would probably get maybe like 10, 15 minutes into it. And then the second like my foot hurt or I had to like go to the bathroom and I didn't have toilet paper, or if I got a sunburn, tap out.
If I got a mosquito bite on my dick or something,
and they
I'm like,
do.
Oh, they
done.
do.
I'm like, done. I'm no fucking way, man. Are you kidding me? A snake? I don't fuck with snakes. I couldn't imagine seeing a snake out while I'm naked.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Best show. I can't get enough of it.
All right, well, I'll
the
have to
best
watch
is
it.
when the fans go on and they're like, I'm a big fan of this show, so I could totally survive. And within 24 hours, they're like, this looks harder than I thought. I'm like, yeah, I know that it's hard as fuck. Are you a
How
fan
long
of
are they
this
out?
show?
I mean, I want to turn into a fucking.
It's like 21 days.
Yeah, 21 days
Oh,
for the
no.
survivalists, but the fans do 2 weeks.
No.
But then there are the Naked and Afraid XL, which some of those people have done 60 days.
No. If society collapsed where that's the thing, like I got to train for it, I'm like this. I want to go out in the first wave
That's
of
right.
like I don't want to be around at all for anything where I have to possibly survive naked or with
Yeah.
like very few clothes.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I'd be useless.
Yeah.
I found my out point. I know this is not about poop, but I know that I'm fucking out of existence when. So I saw this article that was like, oh, we've discovered this perfect source of nutrients, and it's in the brood sac of cockroaches.
I heard of the yes, I heard
Roach
about
milk?
that.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
And I was like, if that's going to be like our main source of
Yep.
food, I am out.
It's like they're milking cockroaches.
Hell to the no, no, no. Come on, come on. Come on.
I listened to a podcast all about that.
To the no, no, no.
I love him.
There is no way. I mean, oh yeah, okay. Well, look, I'll be dead.
That's right. Enjoy
I don't
it.
even
I'm
like
like I
going
had a pretty
to.
good life.
I don't even like going to Mexican restaurants in New York City that when you order like nice mezcal, they give you like crickets. I'm like, fuck that. Nope, not eating that.
I could do that. Something about roaches. It's just there's no way.
Yeah, I can.
Like-
I know there are other cultures where like eating bugs is like
Yeah, like I could.
the jam, but there's something specifically about like roach milk.
No, no.
Oh my god, roach milk, and
You just ruined Dave's
I just
dinner.
Imagine, I just imagine there's like some like soccer mom or person or somebody's like, look, oat milk was a thing, but have you tried roach milk? It's delicious.
It's not vegan, but it's better for you.
You're at Starbucks. I'll have a latte and put a little bit of roach milk.
I was telling the trainers at my gym about roach milk because it was haunting me, and they were like, "Yeah, if you just like powder it and you just add it to your shake," and I was like, "You are already dead. Like,
Yeah.
how dare you?"
Trainers, I knew a bodybuilder who does colostrum, which is
Uh-huh.
and I even think that's just a little cuckoo bananas.
It's not for me.
Yeah,
Yeah, you do you.
yeah. Nope.
It's like straight up drinking roach milk.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've been doing combo, which I've been burning Amazonian frog poison into my arm, and it's been helping my Lyme disease.
Oh.
So if you promised that roach milk is the one thing that would like cure my ailments, or if they were like roach milk is the thing to cure cancer, I'd be like, put
Yep.
that shit in a capsule. I'll swallow it.
Milk it up.
Yeah.
I always worry that there's going to be something really disgusting that's like the only thing that makes me come the best or something. Like I'm going to find out that there's like some absolutely revolting thing I have to do to get myself to finish.
Well, I've always wanted, like, going back to the topic of the podcast, but I've always wondered if, because the G spot in a man is in their asshole, if they ever have like a really satisfying shit if they ever orgasm.
So
Yet to happen to me.
Well, I can talk about this from the sex educator standpoint.
Yeah.
So one of the things about the prostate is that you have to be really aroused when you're having it stimulated, and it really works best when you're having super direct stimulation.
Oh.
And so because it's on the anterior wall, it's unlikely that the poop is going to like press up against it in a firm enough way that you're going to feel anything, and you would already have to be really turned on for that to happen. So it's a pretty unlikely scenario.
Oh, well, I don't have a prostate in my
It's
asshole.
like I get
so
horny, I
I've
go to the
always
bathroom,
been-
take a shit.
Yeah.
It's great.
Finishes me
Yeah.
right up. I mean, there are people, I'm sure, where that's like the thing that they like.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah, we had Mistress Ashley on. Poop is a fetish,
Yeah.
but I'm just curious, like, yeah.
But there is that thing where like, so the first time that one has anal sex and the person like pulls out, and I'm not speaking from experience, but when I got fucked in the ass and then he pulled out, it was that sensation of like, oh, the only other thing that's ever happened in here is poop. So
Yep.
it really felt like that. And I
Yep.
was like, ooh, I'm sorry. And then it was fine.
Yeah.
That's not what I did.
Well, we had an anal surgeon on, and he talked a lot because he's somebody who wants to help people with their anal sex life. So you should listen to that episode.
He was
He's
great. Dr.
brilliant.
Evan Goldstein.
Yeah.
He was amazing.
Oh my
Brilliant.
God, how nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He came up with this new douching called the Future Method. It's a good one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
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 There hasn't been like a new like innovation in the douche market for a long time.
It's anal
totally.
douche, and like he was telling us when he was trying to find people to help invest in it, they were all like, "This product doesn't exist already." Yeah, it was one of those kind of things.
My God, I got to check it out.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
Yeah, he's pretty great.
We want to do another episode where he actually looks at my asshole while we record.
Oh my God, yeah, that's for Patreon subscribers or something.
Hey, if it gets us to that place, I'll fucking do it.
Yeah, man.
As long as you put something over my vag.
I'm gonna be on the other side of that
Oh, yeah.
that cloth and like
I don't mind if people see my butthole. I do mind about like my whole vulva being out there. I don't know why. Which is funny because I photograph so many vulvas,
Yeah.
but not that many buttholes.
I don't think I want my butthole out there. I don't even want to know what it looks like.
Oh, I know what my butthole looks like.
I've got a good idea, but I don't need to be friends with I don't need to know. Like it just does a thing. My butthole and me, we work together, but we don't really hang that much.
Like a colleague.
Yeah,
a
it's
pen
work
pal.
Exactly. It's like a work dude. I see him like, hey, what's up? Pound him in the morning. Like, how's your weekend?
Do you?
I
You don't pound him.
Yeah.
He pounds you, if
Yeah,
anything.
that's right. Yes, he's pounding me. I'm like, get in there.
No, more
No,
get
come
out of there.
No, it's going back in. Oh my god.
So Fancy, some of our questions are: what kind of toilet paper do you use, and do you hang the toilet paper over versus under?
So I usually like the Charmin Extra Strong.
Oh,
Because it doesn't shred.
Yeah.
I really like for the structural integrity to be in place.
yes.
And I am sort of chaotic neutral. I don't really care which direction or which orientation the toilet paper's in, as long as it's in.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there's like, if it's just next to, I find that to be like a passive aggressive kind of thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is literally my pet peeve. I mean, I will go if if I go into your bathroom and it's under, I will flip it to over because I'm an asshole like that. But if you just like put the new roll on top of like an empty cardboard, I'm just like, you're a fucking animal. Yeah.
Unless they're like extremely extenuating circumstances, like the smoke alarm is going off or
Yes,
something like
yes.
Yeah.
that, then you can kind of just shove it on top.
Or someone just died in the toilet. They're
Yeah,
like,
like
I was
that.
just about. Oh.
Yeah, if somebody died on the toilet, I don't think I would hold it against them that they fucked up the toilet paper.
I mean, I feel bad they died, but Jesus Christ, I couldn't fucking get that last roll on, asshole.
I want to do an episode where we talk about celebrities who have died on the toilet because I know
There's
there's
lots of
Judy Garland,
Elvis.
Yeah.
They wouldn't. So I visited Graceland,
Oh.
and they don't let you go up to the second floor, which is where Elvis's bedroom and the bathroom is. They just don't let you see it at all.
Wow.
So we only saw the first floor of his house.
Does he have a shitter on the first floor?
I think there's like a water closet. I think there's like a half bath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend in high school made a T-shirt that said Elvis died in the toilet. There's a photo of like Elvis. It said Elvis died. It was like the best shirt ever. And I'm so pissed that I got rid of it.
Oh.
I was like, you know what? I'm getting older. I should be wearing this around. This is like, you know.
Now look at you.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck?
You're like, I didn't know I was going to have this podcast.
Yeah, well, you know. Maybe I'll just make one.
Yeah.
That'll be our new merch.
Yeah.
Elvis died in the toilet.
We'll have celebrities who died on the shitter.
They won't talk about it at Graceland, by the way.
Oh.
I'm sure
like,
they won't.
It's
Yeah.
not part of the tour. Like, this is all like the legacy of Elvis and like the icon and the star and who he
Right.
was and how tragic his death was. And they just do not entertain questions about the toilet at all.
Wow.
He's like, excuse me, was there poop in the toilet or did he just sit down and then die? Like, I'm just kind of curious. Was he in mid shit? Like
That's like the
no,
people who
no.
run Jimi Hendrix estate don't like if they sell his music to a movie or anything, the movie can't have anything to do with drug use in it. And I'm like, are they trying to gloss over the fact that Jimi Hendrix did drugs?
I get it though. I mean, someone's son, brother. Like, I mean, they're probably just like, oh, like, you know.
Yeah.
But
No, but let's be realistic.
no, totally. Dude,
you
without
know?
drugs, they wouldn't have like the majority of most music. So,
I do actually, I can't answer the question of whether or not there was shit in Elvis's toilet, but I know that because of the amount of like barbiturates he was taking, he was having severe constipation.
Whoa.
And so it was in the struggle to try to get poop out
right.
that he had I think it was a heart attack.
Yeah, that happens. I think we read like news articles about
there was
that.
there was this woman in, I think, England, somewhere in the UK, but basically she had this whole phobia where she didn't like pooping. She just couldn't be, she didn't like thinking about it. It was just like, and she was backed up for a really long time, and she wound up having a heart attack.
Oh my God.
And there's the
I forgot the
vasovagal nerve.
yeah, it was
and that
pushing
can-
against something, and then that basically, I mean, plus like her whole body was just like
And that was
shutting down.
septic or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, but I mean, there was some nerve that was pinching against, and they said basically, like, yeah, it's like you can just things just start shutting down. But that was one of the big factors. She had a heart attack. She was like young, like 20s,
Wow.
mid to late 20s. It was like, yes, a young person.
This is why talking about poop is okay, people. Like, get it out. If you eat food, make a shit.
Well, I feel like so in my experience as a sex educator, I was teaching workshops that talked about anal sex a lot and talking about like the myth that if you have anal sex, it's just gonna like be a poop explosion. That was something that I would do in like almost every workshop, and people would react like more strongly to that than anything else. Like that was just the one thing that was really taboo and really sort of like riled them up to talk about. So like talking about butts and poop really got people in a way
Yeah.
that nothing else did.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's like, you know, it's not really a big topic like people like discussing.
Did you have any like people's like horror stories when they were like, I tried anal sex and I shit all over the place? Like, I'm just trying to bring it back to the podcast. If you've heard any other, you don't have to name names, but
Well, not horror stories. It was more like a lot of what I was doing was assuring people that, like, you know, you can wash your butthole in the shower or you can use a douche, and that there's not necessarily just going to be like a poop in your butt waiting for you if you try to put something in your butt. But I think in our urge to like convince people to try like playing with their butts, we may have over comforted them about the lack of poop in there. And so I would kind of say something like, you know, it's unlikely, but it's also like, that's where the poop lives. You know what I mean? That's like, where else are you going to find it, really? So like, you may encounter like some residue. Like there might just be something in
A
there.
little mud in the helmet.
Yeah, exactly. So,
or if you haven't pooped in 24 hours, if you keep poking the bear, it's going to want to come out of the cave.
yeah, that's, I always say, like, if you're, you know, if you just had Chipotle or whatever like that, that might not be the time to have anal sex.
Yeah, that's I mean, look, I imagine too, it's like if you're having anal sex, like you just kind of like, there's a party, it's like, look, this is where the poop lives.
Yeah, I was
This
like,
stuff's gonna happen.
in the same way that you wouldn't like have, like, give a blowjob if you had a sandwich in your mouth, you know, just the other end.
Yeah, or even go to the dentist after eating
Yeah.
like some foul smelling food.
You just plan your day.
You just brush your teeth beforehand.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna finish the sandwich before I get to you, so just hold on for a second.
I knew somebody who told me a story like that. I'm not going to say their names, but this guy went home with a girl and she was like, I'm going to make some cookies. And there was like late night snacking. It was chocolate chip cookies. And then he said that like she started blowing him and he was like, what is this grittiness on my dick? Like it feels like sandpaper. And he looked down and it was bits of chocolate chip cookie all over his dick.
Oh.
And he was like, yeah, that was a bad idea.
Yeah. Well, I feel like everyone needs to like eat stuff around sex. Like there was so much edible stuff at the store and everyone was like, oh, but can I eat this massage oil? It's like, why are you trying to eat? Like,
Yeah.
just suck a dick and then eat.
Yeah,
It's not that
like you don't have to
complicated.
combine everything together.
No.
I mean, I don't want a blowjob with cookie grit.
No.
But I do like cookies.
But have the cookie after the blowjob.
At the very least, I'm like, can you at least give me one? Why?
Well, that's like I still want to interview somebody who's into Blumpkins because I'm curious, like, how does that fucking go down?
My
Yeah.
God.
I think I just realized that, like, when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, I'm square.
I remember when we first started doing this podcast, Dave's wife Tiny was here, and I said something like that. I was like, I want to interview somebody who does a Blumpkin, and Tiny turned and she was like, if you want to blow Dave when he's on the toilet, that's fine with me. And I was like, no, I don't want to blow Dave. I don't want to see him on the toilet. Like, no, Tiny, no. I want to interview somebody that's their fetish.
She
like,
is so nice.
She's just like, yeah, because I'm not doing that. And I don't want that, by the way. I just want to throw that out there.
yeah.
I'm not looking for that.
I'm not looking for. I just want somebody who actually enjoys that. I don't want somebody to do that as an experiment.
I mean, I can imagine, like, as a giver of a Blumpkin, that it is so humiliating. And so, like, if that's what it takes, like, mazel tov, you know? Not me.
I would not be comfortable. I would be like, this is so. I would have questioned so many things in my life at that point. I'm like, if I was even saying yes to that, I'd be like, yeah, you know what? We gotta stop. I need to like really take stock.
Like that's that one thing that you're saying. Like if you have the best orgasm in your life doing something horribly disgusting. It's like, who are those people out there who are like, you know what? Playing with myself while blowing a guy while he's taking a shit is the best orgasm I've had of my life. It's like, what?
Can't beat it.
Yeah.
For me, the issue is, what do you do after? Because you're not going to be like, oh, I forgot that I needed to return that stuff to H&M.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like,
You're like, let's see. As you're doing it, you're like, I gotta go.
and pick up the kids. And
There's no way you're having like a meal after that, you know?
I hope not. Well, I don't know. You know, I don't want to be sex negative about stuff, even if it's really not my thing. So like for the people who like that, I hope they find each other. I hope they communicate about it.
And I hope they communicate
Oh my
to
god!
us.
you.
If two people are both into that, that's amazing. That's like incredible love story. I'd
Yeah.
be like, I'd fucking salute that.
You put that in the New York Times, like,
Yeah.
wedding section.
How'd you guys meet? Well, you know, I was taking a shit over at this bar, my favorite bar, and then she came in and it was crazy. I mean, look, if someone's willing to do that, you lock that shit down.
Absolutely.
I don't care who you're like. This is my future partner right here because there's no way I'm letting this person go.
Don't cut that fish loose.
No, Are you kidding me?
Well, I heard back in the day when Brad Pitt left Jennifer Aniston, this might be complete urban legend, but I heard the reason he left her was because Angelina Jolie ate out his asshole. And he had never had a salad tossed before. And he was like, sorry, this really hot woman just ate out my ass. I got to go.
That sounds like an urban legend to me.
Yeah.
Because Angelina Jolie has that kind of like I eat ass vibe.
Yeah.
So it just seems like too good to be true. It's like the Richard Gere.
Oh, yeah. Her
gerbil
yeah.
thing.
I'm like, I want to believe it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they had, who knows?
No. I'm just saying like that's hilarious. I feel bad for Jennifer Aniston. She's like, I'm sorry, I was not going to lick my husband's asshole.
Yeah.
This other woman did, and
he just comes in like throws like all his shit in the suitcase. Like, I'm leaving you. It's like, why?
I just got my salad tossed, and nothing is the same.
Are you gonna do that? She's like, no. I was like, well,
all right,
sorry.
bye.
Well, I've said I had to say, and you'll be hearing from my lawyer soon. I mean, that's crazy if that's true, but I'm gonna call.
I said urban legend.
Okay.
I was not in the room when this happened.
Sue us.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, it definitely happened now.
Yeah.
He calls in, definitely happened.
Next guest.
High fives all around.
Yeah.
Fancy, do you have any accident or funny story? Maybe performing, farting, anything?
I always fart immediately before I perform.
Oh,
Like I don't know what it is. I like
anxiety gas.
Yeah, it's like I get the nervous poops, but they're not real, and so I have to like just kind of remove myself from the group in the dressing room and just kind of like find a place backstage where I can just like toot it out. I've never farted or shit on stage. Like you get that stage health and all of your holes just close up.
Yeah.
Like I'm never sick on stage. I don't burp on stage. Like nothing happens. Like
That's amazing.
It's incredible. I am so grateful for that. That's like the only time where my body is like disciplined. But in terms of like farts and shits, accidents. Well, yeah. So I did shit myself in my kitchen when I was home from college. It's like, it's like a shark. You think it's going to be one thing and then the other thing happens.
Especially when you're at home.
Especially when you're home.
Yeah.
You feel safe. You're like just letting it
I'm
out.
gonna push this one out.
And I remember having this like extremely existential moment because I was like home from college and I was like maybe like 20, 21. And I was like, oh, I used to think I was an adult. And then I realized that nobody talks to you about what happens when you are 21 and you shit yourself in the kitchen.
You are the second person that shit themselves in the kitchen. And
Really?
we had a guest who was making breakfast.
Oh.
He farted and just a lump came out like through his shorts. Hit the ground.
That I laughed so hard during that
She was
episode.
crying.
My face was like on fire. But yeah.
Was he making breakfast for himself?
Yeah. He was making
Only.
egg scrambies.
Egg scrambies. Yeah, he's like, I'm making scrambies. I'm like,
Because I asked him, I was like, so floor or pants? And he goes, what if I've done both? And I was like, what?
Wow.
And he sharted in his pants on
hit
the
the
floor.
back of his boxers and just fell straight to the floor.
And ruined his breakfast.
Yeah.
Ruined his egg scrambies.
But I'm with you with the existential thing because maybe like a few years ago, I was riding back from a bar with a friend. We had dinner and then I'm headed back. I'm like 10 minutes from home. And then I turned the corner of my bike. I just shit myself. And I remember like I couldn't, so I had to stand up the whole way, ride back home. And then I get back home and my wife's like, what happened? I'm like, I shit my pants. And she's just like, what? And then I remember sitting in the bathroom going like, you kind of question, you're like, what the fuck is wrong with me? This shouldn't be happening.
Right.
Like,
where you have a story of your adulthood and you're like,
Yeah.
I own property and I have this job and I support people and I have my hobbies and my friends and my love but like shitting yourself in the kitchen or like on a bike, it doesn't fit into the picture.
Not one of
Not
those.
until you're like way past in your 80s and 90s and wearing Depends.
Yeah, and then you're having fun with
fine.
it.
Yeah.
But like,
But I mean, not when you're like in your just, again, it was just and it happened so quickly. I'm like, what? It was the biggest slap in the face. And I think my body's just like,
it betrayed you.
happens. Yeah, completely betrays me.
Right. And so I was like, okay, so now what? Do I like drop trow here and try to like clean it up in the kitchen with like whatever's in the kitchen? do I try to like walk to the nearest bathroom and like sustain like additional sort of collateral damage on my way? Do I like go to the phone and like, I don't know what, call my mom or like an undertaker or like a doctor? I don't know. So yeah, it was like a flow chart of decision making that nobody had prepared me for.
Yeah.
Like,
nobody prepares any of us for that.
No.
who says that as an adult, as like a healthy adult, you're gonna shit yourself like occasionally, maybe
Like,
every
sweetie,
5 years?
you're gonna shit yourself, and it's just when you're
It's a
like
fact
maybe like
of life.
making breakfast or something. You're like, what? It's never gonna happen to me. Mom, you're so wise. I know.
And it's a humbling thing because I was like, I really thought I was like working on my thesis and like moving towards something, and then I realized that I'm just a fucking animal.
Yeah.
You know?
You got broke down.
Well, that's why I love our question, floor or pants, because I'm like, I feel like it is it's like a deep question about like, if you really have to go type 7 Bristol stool chart, do you just let it happen in your pants, or do you find a place on the ground to do it? It's one of those deep questions where you really find out what kind of animal you are. You do what your friend Rachel did and lift up her skirt and wipe with her underwear.
Yeah, I would probably do that. I don't think there's any other option.
Yeah.
It's either
Oh,
that
yeah.
or you pack your ass with sand. You know,
Yeah.
you can't do that. You can't
Which
do
actually we
This
learned on
turns
the
into fucking like some kind of like clay, mud, like brick mortar thing.
But we learned on the Kyle Bonbon episode that wiping with sand or dirt sounds awful, but it actually helps, he was saying.
He did say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Which
sure.
you
I don't
would
think
not
I ever want to
think.
be in a situation where I have to do that, but
No, I feel like it's the kind of thing that like solves one problem and creates another.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's not like the ceramic shards that our ancestors used to use.
if you saw a friend wipe their ass with sand, and then like you're there to support, I think, but later on, just be like, man, that just went down. Like they just wiped their ass with sand, and just like months later, just doing dishes like that. I go, that's fucking crazy. That's
Right. It's like somebody's just taken like a wiffle ball bat and just hits you over the head
Yeah.
every once in a while. You're like, oh fuck, I saw that.
And it's just like it never leaves you, because like, every time we see that person, we're like, oh my god, I haven't seen you in like 10 years. Oh my god, you had sand in your ass. That's
Flashing right back.
way up in the crack.
Okay, floor versus pants.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like the idea of being like you're out somewhere. Let's just say like you're on the subway, and it's coming out, like it's gonna hit. It's like it's coming out right now.
Like I
And-
told a story when I was shooting with Freddie Love in the woods, and I was like, I think I could hold it. And I was like, nope, I can't. And I was just like, Freddie, I'm gonna go behind that tree and take a shit. And Freddie was an angel to stand there on the trail and watch for people for me. Well, literally, Bristol 7 was coming out of me. I picked floor that time. But I've
I
had
forgot
my.
to ask this question for that story. Were you holding the camera? Like, did you throw it on the ground at that
Oh,
point?
I think Freddie was holding my
okay.
whole camera bag. Yeah. All I had was like a fanny pack with wipes in it. And I left the biggest pile of diarrhea next to this tree.
Oh,
A beautiful. I'm sure that tree's been around for like 300 years. It's like seen the dawn of our country.
Yeah, it was a big
it
enough
grew an
tree
extra
where it
foot
like
a month later. It's like,
yes, it was a big enough tree that it like hid my ass behind it. Not like I have the biggest ass in the world, but I'm a size 30 pant, like there's some ass to hide behind a tree. But yeah, it was a lot. I remember looking down and being like, whoop, I feel bad for anybody who comes across that pile.
It's like there's just like a young American revolutionary who like plants the tree and is like, and so shall the tree of our democracy grow. Yes. And then you're like,
someone's shitting all over
And
it.
fast forward to
Yeah,
2018.
Ellen's shitting all over it.
Some blonde photographer has explosive diarrhea.
Yeah, shooting some naked person in the window. It's like,
And I tried to go in the bathroom because we were in a public park area, and the bathrooms were locked. And I was like,
Yeah,
maybe
well-
I could just hold this. And I was like, nope, it's going to come out.
that's true freedom right there.
God bless America.
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's a question of setting because outdoors, if I'm in nature, it's going to be floor all the way.
Yeah.
If I am in a public setting, I think it's going to be pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely circumstantial. Because like I agree. It's like although we did have our friend Keith on the podcast, and he was like, I'm never shitting my pants again. And I was like, what if you're in the subway? It's like, I don't care. I'll just drop my shit, pull a shirt over his head, and just Which I thought was like, which I kind of make a drawing of that because that would be like the craziest thing, especially in this day and age with like cell phones. That shit's going up somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Like instantly.
Oh yeah, you're getting fired from like Best Buy or wherever you work.
On my worst day, you're like, oh God, here we go.
So when I had stomach flu, I got a stomach flu that created a lactose intolerance in me.
Whoa.
While I was
wow.
While I was at a summer playwriting workshop for teens at the University of Virginia. And my first year that I was there, I was so excited to be there that I didn't want to tell anybody that I was sick because then I knew I would have to go home. But I was sharing like a dorm room in an unair conditioned building in Charlottesville, Virginia in the middle of the summer.
Nope.
With like a vicious stomach flu. And so I remember like fashioning myself a sort of makeshift diaper out of maxi pads. Like I would just like pad the back of my underwear so that like in case something happened, I would be covered.
That's very
kinda genius,
ingenious.
actually.
Yeah.
Thanks. I did okay. And like nobody found out
MacGyver.
that I was sick. I like really kept it under wraps.
Excellent.
Yeah. But
Until now.
thank you to the Young Writers Workshop. I really appreciate it.
Because they're all listening to this podcast.
Sure.
Oh my God, that's awesome. I like the little DIY diaper.
Yeah.
It's smart. It's very absorbent, I imagine.
It was great. I mean, I was born to be a burlesque performer and like, you know, create my own garments. I've been doing that for a while.
Dave's losing it. I love
Oh my
it.
God, it's so funny though.
I could
love
just
it.
see a costume. That should be like a Halloween costume, like just covered in diapers and maxi pads with shit stains down there.
Oh.
And then you're like, who wants to hook up?
Yeah.
Woo! Sexy shitter costume.
Yeah. You're like, what's up?
New for the market.
Someone would be like, okay. Like they're like, without question, some dude would be like, oh yeah, let's do this. Like
And then like Yandy has to sell like a generic version of it.
Yeah.
So it's like sensual toilet man.
so toilet man. Oh my God.
The sensual toilet.
You put it on and you're just instantly sweating because all the plastic that's involved in it.
I did post on our Instagram when I was looking at like Halloween stuff. There is an actual costume of white pants with a urine stain on the front and a shit stain down the back. Sold on Amazon.
People just stop trying. That's just like, that is the laziest, like, dude, man. Someone bought that.
Yeah.
You don't have to
Oh, you
buy
know,
that
there's a lot of
costume.
people. You can make it yourself.
That's right.
DIY. Oh,
But I remember being like, really? Wow. I mean, to make it like, there's brand new anal douches on the market now, but then that thing has been out for a while. It's just ridiculous.
I just feel like you can't do that in New York. And I know that people do bad stuff for Halloween anyway. But like, if you're going to take the subway and you're dressed like somebody who shit and pissed themselves,
yeah.
do you know that there's like a whole bunch of people who do that and ride the subway? You can't. No.
Yeah, that's definitely a costume. That's Tuesday.
Exactly. Right. That's a way of life.
Yeah, that's just like every day here.
Yeah. That's the empty car.
Yeah, that's definitely for someone who lives in like in the suburbs or like out in the
Right.
middle of nowhere. They're
Yeah.
like, isn't this crazy?
Do you have any childhood memories of poops and farts?
Yes.
Ooh, yes. Bring it.
So I was raised without poop shame, which
Yes.
I think is really wonderful. My parents did a
great.
great job. But I have two really strong poop memories from my childhood. One is around the time of my potty training. I was told by my parents that I was doing a great job. And I really took that to heart. I was like extremely proud of my ability to shit in a potty. So that when my mother had a New Year's party and she'd like made her own Chinese food and she made like dumplings and the whole thing was red and gold, this beautiful like paper lanterns. And I wanted to make the guests as proud as my parents were. So I like brought my potty out to the front of the buffet and took a shit in front of everybody. And maybe that was like my first piece of performance art.
That is the best. That is.
I was like, look at this. Hey. You like it?
Check me out. You like those paper lanterns? You're gonna love this.
You like those dump-ins? Check out my dump.
Oh my God, that is the best thing ever.
So we had to have a conversation afterwards about like, there's some things that happen in public and some things that happen in private, you know. But she did a great job. So that was one of them. The other big memory is when... You okay, Dave?
I'm good. I'm just imagine your mom being like, "Hey, great time tonight, but let's just, we're
So
gonna,
glad you made it in the potty.
your dad
Super
wanna
chill night.
do a little post-mortem with how the event went. Let's just go by.
Yeah, let's rendezvous.
Yeah.
So I have
Swing
one item.
back.
Just following up. She was so good because I think she knew she was like, she's gonna fucking talk about this on like an analyst's couch in 20 years if
Yeah.
I don't do the right thing. But the other one was that there was those really hyper pigmented cookies that you get at the grocery store.
Yes.
I ate one that was, I think, an alligator, and it was bright green. And so I had a bright green shit also in the potty. And I looked down, and that was my first moment of realizing that, like, I will die and everyone dies. Because I was like, this is it. Like, I know that I've been poisoned. And I like, didn't connect that there was probably just, like, it was the cookie food coloring. So that was another conversation that I had to have with my parents.
Oh,
They were great. They
your
really
parents
nailed
sound
it.
amazing. Because
Yeah,
that's
they do.
like, my parents have been like, don't do that. Why not? Just don't do that. And then I'm like, what? What'd I do? What?
My dad would be so proud of me, and my mom would be mortified.
Yeah, my parents would. They just never talked about this kind of stuff, so it's like really funny that they'd probably laugh actually, but then later on just never talk about it, never bring it up.
Down the memory hole.
It'd be one of those things they bring up when you're like, when you've moved out of the house, like, remember that time when you? I'm like, no, I don't remember that. Oh my god, it was so crazy. Like, what?
So funny. Are there any products that you enjoy using to help you poop or not help you if you have diarrhea, constipation, or stuff you do in the toilet?
Yeah, I have a whole setup. I really like creating a comfortable environment to shit in. And so I have a squatty potty. Right now I just have the plastic, but I really want the dark wood. I think it's like a really nice
Yeah,
finish.
it's
Sexy.
nice.
Yeah.
I just got a squatty potty for my birthday from my amazing co-host today.
I gave him the Moonlight edition.
I saw it looks like the fucking Millennium Falcon.
It's
in the
awesome.
bathroom. It's so cool.
I can't wait to use it.
It's
we
gorgeous.
Just got it today. It's like
Brand new
super excited.
batteries
Yes.
and everything.
She's the best.
Well, technically, you got it last week.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
We did an unwrapping on the last episode.
it was in my hand today, so I was really excited about
Yeah,
it.
So-
but on last week's episode. But yes,
So squatty potty is big.
Yes.
I'm trying to wean myself off of wet wipes
yes,
because I know that they're bad
Yeah.
for the
everything
environment and everything.
and the pH of your butthole.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yep.
it kind of strips away some of the
Natural.
lining and everything off your ass.
Yeah,
Okay, good to know. So I have this like spray that is made with like aloe and stuff like that you spray onto toilet paper, and it creates
Oh.
sort of like more of a wet wipe kind of texture.
what's that product called?
I don't remember.
Oh,
It's
that sounds
like,
amazing.
It's
Yeah.
something from like Amazon like Market, like one of the other
Oh, yeah.
sellers. I think it was like a Shark Tank thing. It has like papyrus font on it. My mom got it for me.
Papyrus.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like some kind of like ancient Egyptian. I'm like, okay, but it's really great. So that works with the extra strong toilet paper. I'm a big fan of Poopery. Oh my God, how did I not mention this? Okay, can I sidebar for a second?
Yes, yes.
please.
Okay, so from my lips to Poopery's ears. I love Poopery. I have a travel stick of it with me when I go on tour, go to Beehoff. And I DM'd them when I was on tour because I have this idea. So you know how Dita Von Teese has like the martini glass, like the sort of iconic like Lady in a Martini Glass
Yes.
burlesque act. I would like to do an act with a crystal toilet
Yes.
and like huge and opulent, and I will be like a very glamorous piece of shit, and
Ooh.
I want to have
Oh my
like,
God.
my boa be poop looking, and then have like a big thing of toilet paper that I can like as my towel till when I'm done, and I want blue, make the urinal cake water blue, whatever. I have all these ideas for it, and I would do it to probably Feeling Good, like the Michael Bublé
Yes.
version of it, because it's just like such a song about shit, and I was like, I don't know where I would have the capital, because it's going to cost like
Yeah.
probably 10-15 grand minimum
Yeah.
to fabricate the toilet, and then I need some place to store it. And so I was asking Poopery like if they would do sort of like a SpawnCon thing where I could use Poopery as like the first part of the act,
Yeah.
and then if they would pay for my toilet.
Yeah.
And so I only got the like red receipt. They left me on red. They did not respond. But I did pitch it to them, and I was like, I've been featured in the Huffington Post, and here's my website. And yeah,
No.
haven't heard from them.
Oh shit. That's a fucking genius idea.
Yes. And we are going to do, we're not sure when, we're going to do a burlesque live Poopy podcast. You are hired.
I would be honored. I mean, the least popular edition of the Fuck You Review was our like toilet themed show.
Yes. Why wasn't I there?
Oh my God.
Everyone hated it. Like, it was the only show that we lost money on in like the 3-year run that we were at Bazaar. People really did not enjoy being there for that show.
Oh, okay. Well, we got to book those acts.
Yeah.
Because again, we have like a good like 3 or 4 people now.
The show was incredible.
Oh my
shit.
God.
Yeah. So, and sorry, getting back to the actual question that you asked, matches.
Oh yeah.
Always matches. And then I don't like the artificial smells or sprays. I find them very gross. So I just have like a candle there in case somebody wants to light it.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
But I'm saving up for like a fancy bidet.
yes.
Yeah.
You don't have to go too fancy. The Tushy is under $100.
Okay, maybe that's going to be the one
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
It's like
and we have a
70.
promo code for 10% off.
Yeah.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Should we go into?
Yeah, and less fancy. Do you want to bring anything else to this podcast? Is there a story that we left out or question?
This feels pretty comprehensive. I'm sure I'm missing something.
I mean,
You're always welcome back.
You brought it.
Yeah.
There's so many good things in that. I loved it.
I am so sad I missed that toilet show at Fuck You Review.
It was so great. But I think people thought that like their presence was an endorsement. Or like if I show up, then I'm like a creepy, poopy peep man.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
what a weirdos.
It's so weird because I think it's hilarious and it sort of is the most taboo. Like sometimes burlesque is not actually as sort of edgy or whatever as we think it is. But it's like I found a sore spot in people.
Oh yeah.
Like people did not want to go to the toilet show. But the acts were just incredible and so smart and so interesting, and it feels very human. And I think that's like a really wonderful thing that y'all do with this podcast. That
Yay.
like we walk around pretending that we're these like intellectual creatures and that we don't have bodies. Like we spend so long trying to pretend we don't have bodies, and I just think it's so honest. It's one of the few things we all definitely do.
Yeah, it's the thing. It's like if you don't, you're some kind of mutant
Right.
freak,
Or you
Not
will
freak, but
die.
just like you'll die,
Or a mayfly.
or you're an alien.
Yeah.
because like everybody shits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh my God. Oh, gee. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Do I have time for one more?
Yeah.
yes,
Oh, beautiful. Oh, great. Okay, so I was in a college improv troupe, which like just put a pin in that. Like as if I couldn't get sexier on the shit podcast. Here I am doing improv, and so we all had our had like photos and bios that we would put out in the hallway of the auditorium where our show was, and mine was like a photo that was taken of me on the toilet wasted at the Thanksgiving break from freshman year of college, and just like gleefully laughing and on the toilet just wasted, and that photo was stolen. And at first I was really upset because there's just that picture circulating, like there's a picture of me on the toilet, and then I found out that it was like from my #1 fan who got so excited at the idea that he just like had to have it. He was
That's
like,
amazing.
yeah, I was like, at this point I was a senior, and he was like a freshman boy, and he was just like, I love your improv, and so I let him keep it. So yeah, wherever he is, I hope he's enjoying that.
Aw,
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Thanks, Fancy. So we're going to go into our last 2 segments, Let's Get Shitty, where we get to complain about anything you want to. If it's not poop related, it's okay. You can just complain. I think that one thing you can complain about is something you mentioned when we were kind of not recording. The toilet.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for Let's Get Shitty!
Yes, one of my favorite segments.
Yes. This was Dave's contribution. He was like, I've got a great idea. Let's do a thing where we complain about shitty things. And I was like, done.
Because there's a plethora of
Yeah.
them to complain about.
Oh, yeah.
So quickly, I have another phrase or word that I want to share, which is mango, which is the word that I use when a man go ahead of me because he thinks where he needs to go is more important. And I just kind of go, oh,
Mango.
mango. It makes me feel better about how hopeless I feel when somebody pushes me out of the way to like get on the train instead of me or something like that, because it happens not infrequently.
It happens a lot. Yeah,
It happens to Tiny all the time.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like I don't even see you.
Right, exactly. And like wherever you're going, like, oh, you're just going to the like baby store or something. Like, they don't, the tool store.
I went to a metal show last week, and as soon as I walked in, it was a crowded metal bar, and there was a woman standing in front of me who was kind of like walking towards around me. So there was no place to walk through. And this guy behind me goes to push me out of the way, and I just turned and I go, yeah, no, I'm walking through here too. You can wait. Fucking pieces of shit. Yeah.
So that's
I love that mango. Yeah. I'm gonna say.
I like mango.
I'm gonna. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So that's one. But the toilet related one is that at my work, where I am a therapist, the bathroom is a 2-stall, and it's in a small room, and the two toilets are oriented so that they are facing one another, and they are separated by a thin wall, and a wall that is high up enough that your shoes can protrude. And because it's a small room, if you have long legs, your feet will enter the other stall.
Yeah. It's crossing the barrier.
That's right. So it's this.
I need to see this.
It is the most hostile setup like that I can imagine, especially like freshly coming from a therapy appointment where you're maybe like a little bit raw, and then you like enter that room and then immediately have like a toilet standoff with somebody else. I just find it absolutely revolting.
And insane.
Yeah, that's just insane. I don't get who designed that. It's just poor design. But it's almost like they're like, well, it doesn't fit that way, so what are we going to do? It's like, I don't know, have them face each other. Done.
Great. I love it. It's a thing that we all know about when toilets face each other. It's horrible. It's an act of hatred. And I think about what it would be like if there was, like some structural issue and that center wall just like disappeared or,
Just
fell
plexiglass.
to the ground.
See-through plexiglass.
Glory hole.
You could pick up a phone and talk to the other person.
It's got the drill holes in it, like for air, ventilation.
Or a glory hole.
Yeah, at a therapist office bathroom. It's like, what are you guys trying to say over here?
It's a really stressful place to try to poop, which I really don't like. I'm all about a single stall, Well, oh my God. I mean, a single stall with a lock, because I also took a shit in my college library 1-stall bathroom that I had to like specifically spot out because it was the only 1 stall. And the guy who was fucking my roommate, who is a Rhodes Scholar, entered while I was shitting.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah. And then I was like, so you're going to Oxford, but they can't teach you how to fucking
knock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yep. Lots of
He
complaints.
sounded like a mango.
Yeah.
He was actually very sweet, and I could never look him in the eye again.
You should be like, see, you're book smart, not street smart.
A freeze frame on me.
Yeah.
Wondering how I ended up in this crazy place. Yeah.
You're like, don't leave now. It's just like, what you been up to?
Hang out. How do you like fucking my beautiful roommate? Do you mind if I shit?
Yeah. You're like, don't mind me. Oh my God, Ellen, do you have anything?
Yes, my Let's Get Shitty is I have one of those Pax vaporizers to smoke weed with, and it's not the liquid vapor bullshit that's killing everybody. It's you put the real flower in the butt end of it, and every night when I'm going to bed, because I have Lyme disease and my shit's all fucked up, I take a melatonin, a Benadryl, and I smoke weed until I'm in a coma and die for a brief couple minutes, but not really die. And so sometimes in the middle of the night, I'll go and grab my packs and smoke more weed if I wake up to pee and I can't go back to sleep. The other day, smoked all this weed before I went to bed, fell asleep, woke up 4 hours later, peed, went to smoke. The entire butt end of the packs fell off, and I can't find it. Yeah.
You need your medicine. You gotta get that butt
I
end.
looked everywhere.
Maybe the dog picked it up and
ate it?
Not ate it, but maybe she's playing with it and spit it out somewhere.
I don't know.
Like weird.
But
or
it was
the cats were playing with it.
Yeah,
and picked it up
I
somewhere.
can't find it anywhere. So I ordered a new piece, but I can't smoke weed right now. And I'm not a huge pothead, but I like my sleepy time medicine.
Need your medicine.
I do.
I'm sorry.
So annoying. What's yours, Dave?
I don't know. Just there's like where do you begin? But I was thinking about this, and I'm having this really hard time with people that like you're communicating with us, whatever. It could be like a project. It could be like just saying hello, and they're like, "Hey, give me a call or text me." You text them, and then they never text you back. And it's not just like it's like a day goes by, and then like they'll finally hit you. You're like, "Hey, did you see that text I sent you?" Yeah. I'm like, well, was there a response? That shit drives me fucking batty. Because we as a society, we've figured out that like, okay, texting apparently is the thing, how we communicate, which is pretty fucking easy.
Yeah.
And I get like if you're like busy or something like that, but someone's like requesting your communication,
attention,
and then it's like nothing back. I just it drives me fucking crazy. And then I work mainly from home, so I have a lot of time. I'm just like with in my own thoughts and everything. So I don't know if I'm just like letting stew too much, but it just drives me fucking crazy.
There's those people though that like won't get back to you via text for a couple days, but they freak out if you don't get back to them like right away. Yeah. And I'm like, who the fuck do you think you are?
It drives me.
I'm sorry, I was at the gym for the past hour and I don't keep my phone connected to me at all times.
And my other favorite thing, we were having dinner with some friends, and they kept contacting me on Facebook, which is weird. Ugh. And I rarely go on, check. So anyway, I'm like, okay. This is how we're doing it. I'm like, what's your address again? Or what's your address? I've never been to your place before. So, and like nothing. Then I'm like, and their husband, their partners on the line, on the same train of emails. And like, I'm going back and forth. I'm like, that all sounds great. Where do you live? It's like the day of. I'm like, and it's now like 5 o'clock. I'm like, still don't know where you live. And I can't just run out to Brooklyn, the wilds of Brooklyn, going like, hello. Like, and then finally her husband got back to me and was like, oh, this is their address. I'm like, how hard was this? I don't understand. And I'm sitting there going, do you guys see the previous, like, but it just, I don't know. I don't get it. I
love doing the copy and paste. If somebody hasn't answered me back in like a day or so, I just copy and paste the.
Oh, shit. I mean, I guess, look, sometimes you forget. Like, I just like, I don't like seeing any number like on my little text thing. Like I hate seeing like, I want that to be like 0 because it's just like, I don't know what it is. Yeah. My personality was 0. I hone into that. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get back to that person. Yeah. So, but it's a small first world kind of complaint, but it just drives me fucking crazy. Yeah. If that's how we're going to communicate anyway.
Yes.
So.
But, I agree. Flush those problems.
Oh, I am.
Oh, I don't think we flushed.
Oh, we didn't flush. That's okay.
You can put it in post.
Yeah. We flushed those problems away. We've got a clearing now.
Oh, yeah. So now we feel better. Yeah. Until the next time you use your work toilet.
Yeah. I'll feel better until 5 seconds from now. So we're going to go into news, and that's it.
Yay.
So let's do this. Love that. This story.
The look on Fancy's face is brilliant.
Priceless.
Oof. It just like sometimes you hear a fart that hurts.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that one is.
That's the name of my autobiography. The fart that hurts.
When it has that kind of cadence, if you can like write the musical notes of it, you're like
number 1 with a bullet.
An exclamation point.
So this is kind of a weird, it's a story, news, whatever you want to call it, and I forget who sent this to me. I always do this, so I apologize to whoever sent this to us. But basically, the story goes as such. Experimental replication shows knives manufactured from frozen human feces do not work.
Knives?
Yes.
What is this, a shank?
Knives. It's... In this book called Shadows in the Sun, written in 1998, it recounts what is now arguably one of the most popular ethnographic accounts of all time, where someone... Sorry, this is a little bit long, so I apologize. Quote, there was a well-known account of an old Inuit man who refused to move into a settlement. Over the objections of his family, he made plans to stay on the ice. To stop him, they took away all of his tools. So, in the midst of the winter gale, he stepped out of their igloo, defecated, honed the feces into a frozen blade, which he sharpened with a spray of saliva.
What? That would never work.
With the knife, supposedly, he killed a dog using its rib cage as a sled and its hide harness. Sorry. I can't stop. This is ridiculous. He used the hide to harness another dog and he disappeared into the darkness. So this is some story
That's beyond fictitious.
that had been yeah, exactly. Had been retold. So apparently these people went and they wanted to try to like remake this knife out of human feces and saliva.
Was this ethnographer a white man?
Yeah, I mean, come on.
This is
No, but also if there's all this ice around you, an icicle could kill. Like you could use an icicle for a knife.
Well, this guy used
over
his shit.
Poop.
Or like a rock.
Yeah, or that.
We cut a rock. The way that we make knives, the way that we've been making knives.
The story has been
Since the beginning of time.
They're saying since its publication, the story has been told, retold in the documentaries, books, across internets, websites. Just like it's just so.
Talk about urban legend.
It's just like the dumbest thing ever. Like I just don't even know. Well, tools manufactured from human feces are not unprecedented in the human technological record. What?
That's how you start your sentence.
Yeah. This is just. I mean, basically, they were saying they're calling bullshit in this story because there's no way they can get it to work.
You can make a poop knife.
There's a whole thing about like materials and methods in which to create this. What kind of diet that person would have to be on to kind of get the proper type of feces.
That's some grad student's fucking thesis project is like making himself a poop knife.
Yeah. And the person probably did that. I mean, look, this is a really ridiculously long story
That sounds like
I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it's just like, people don't try to make a knife
Out of your
shit.
poop.
No.
It sounds like something that would be in the Saatchi gallery.
Yeah, right?
Banksy's poop knife.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Damien Hirst presents
yeah.
the poop knife. I mean, shit. We should just probably make something like that and sell it for like $1 million.
Fuck it.
I feel
That's
like
how we're going to get rich off this podcast.
Yeah.
maybe like the name poop knife can mean something that you're like, I was working on the project, but it was doomed from the start. It was a real poop knife.
That's fucking genius. I mean, the British artist Chris O'Feely, I think his name was. He did the one with the Mother Christ, but it had like elephant dung all over it. That's one Giuliani was flipping out about.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause it
I
was
went to
torn
that
into-
Saatchi and at Brooklyn Museums like 20 years ago. But then there was that also the guy who used his own blood to sculpt his own head that was frozen.
Oh yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying. It
Is that
sounds
Damien
like
Hirst too?
No, it was somebody else.
Oh, okay.
But I was saying that's like why the poop knife.
But I mean, like, that's the story that no one needed to hear.
No.
one needed to even like research, do papers on. But yet, there's a ton of like stuff on that
Or
background.
reenact it.
Yeah. It's
Oh
just
my
like
God.
why?
That's some racist shit.
People
Sorry.
people have too much fucking time on their hands.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, it's just like, what I'm gonna do today is like I'm gonna recreate this Inuit poop knife. It's like, get the fuck out of here.
Well, at least he didn't call him an Eskimo, right?
Yeah.
Talking about being racist.
Oh yeah, but
I'm
the bar's
surprised
on the
that-
floor.
I'm surprised that part wasn't in there. It's like, but yeah, that was a little news story I found really fascinating, and I'm sure if you typed in poop knife, you can find all about the history of it.
Oh my God.
And
But I like to recreate that phrase the way you're saying. Like, he shit the bed. That project was a real poop knife. Yeah.
we're gonna put that into the lexicon. That's gonna be like the new thing.
Mango, we learned today.
Mango was great.
Mango, poop knife. Yeah.
Oh my God. But with that ridiculously dumb news story,
Yeah.
Fancy Feast.
Yay,
Thank you
Fancy! It's been a pleasure.
so much for being on the show.
I have to say, I sometimes get sick listening to your podcast.
That's
So I
okay.
can't finish an episode because I feel like I'm going to throw up.
It happens.
That said, I had a wonderful time.
Was it the dominatrix episode?
It was.
Oh, yeah,
You're not
that
the
was-
first
yeah.
person who said that to us.
I almost stopped the recording, and I was right here.
He was visibly sweaty.
This is why sex workers deserve more money.
Yeah.
Whatever they make, you need to pay them more.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you so much for having me. This has been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
Oh, well, again, anytime you want to come on again, if you want to call in,
Yeah.
if you have any things you forgot, let us know. We could write something. We'll read it on there.
And where can people find you, Fancy?
Well, okay, so yeah, first of all, we barely scraped the surface with the poop knife of my poop life. I mean, that's like, it's one of the things I think about the most. So you can find me on Instagram at Fancy Feast Burlesque. You can find me on Twitter, Fancy Burly Q. I don't update my website, but if you want to take a look at it, it's fancyfeastburlesque.com. And there's a documentary about me that's on YouTube. You can just Google my name and you'll see it.
I've seen it. It's great.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I don't talk. There's no shitting in any of those things, though.
No.
So if you're looking for crossover properties,
We'll work on that. Don't
all
worry.
right.
But we're looking into doing a coffee table book of hot babes on toilets. So maybe we might ask you.
Wait, have either of you photographed me on the toilet yet?
No.
I don't think so.
Astonishing that it hasn't happened.
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
All right,
Hot
see you
Babes
soon.
on Toilets or
Yeah.
Broads on Johns is a book that's coming soon
Broads on John.
to the brilliant creators of this podcast.
Yes.
Amazing. And then can we try fashioning a poop knife?
Yes.
Don't
That'll
be
be in
our-
the picture. You'll be on the toilet with your poop
Oh
knife.
my God. Yes. It's done.
A blessing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Fancy. This has been amazing. Happy pooping, everybody.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Toot, toot, toot. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to Shooting the Shit with Dave and Ellen. You can listen to us on platforms like iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher, and even YouTube. Please download, rate, review, and subscribe to any and all of those places. And tell all your friends about us.
For more about Shooting the Shit with Dave and Ellen, you can check us out at heypoopypodcast.com. For questions, product reviews, information, please email us at heypoopypodcast@gmail.com. And you can see us on Instagram at heypoopypodcast.
Theme song by Jordan Perlson. Hey, Poopy.
Oh, that one's gross.
Very wet.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
I'm just, trying to find a place with like-minded people to talk about like-minded things about me, about poop and stuff.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
Oh man, what's this right here? Is this a podcast about poop?